Krishna. The angle looks okay, Prabhu?
I think so, yeah. So just going to put the mic.
It's this side.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, Nicolina. So, second chapter, text number 11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyan Anvasochastvam Pragyavadamscha Bhashase Gatashum Agatashumscha Nanu Sochanti Pandita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asocyan Anvasochastvam Pragyavadamscha Bhashase Gatasun Agatasumscha Nanu Sochanti Pandita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Asocyan, that which is not worthy of lamentation. Anvasochas, you are lamenting. Tvam, you. Pragyavada, learned talks. Cha, also. Bhashase, speaking. Gata, lost. Asun, life. Agata, not past. Asun, life. Cha, also. Na, never. Anusochanti, lament. Pandita, the learned. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, you're talking like a learned man, but you do not know that the one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As it will be explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the control of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology. But he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the Supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body. Om Agyan Tirinandasyam Yana Janashalakayam Chakshunan Minitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in a darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master is divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes for the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada,
Jaya.
our glorious spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So, Krishna begins to instruct his disciple, Arjuna. This is the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, there was some preliminary instruction given in the Bhagavad Gita, but that was on the material platform. You see, so Krishna is going to the core of the matter. Krishna is exposing the hypocrisy. The real knowledge, Srila Prabhupada says, is to understand matter, spirit, and the controller of both. Who is the supreme controller? That is real knowledge. You see? So, before Krishna explains the science of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is the topmost theological science. Deal with the subject matter of Ishvara, controller, Jiva, the minute living entity, the Prakriti, material nature, Kala, time, and Karma, action. All these topics are explained very nicely. This is called absolute knowledge. Deal with everything. But before Krishna starts explaining the Bhagavad Gita, he establishes the real standard of knowledge. Real standard of knowledge. We should know what is real standard of knowledge. Hare Krishna, Ralph, Prabhu. Haribol, Haribol. This is very important. Krishna says, Namam dushkutina mudha prapadyanti naradam maya pratagyanam asuring bhavam ashritam. Those who do not surrender to me, Namam dushkutina, are divided into 4 classes. Miscreants, fools, lowest of the mankind. He is using all wonderful words to address them. Sometimes there is an objection. Oh, you speak too harsh. You are speaking too strong words. But we do not speak anything. We simply repeat what Krishna says. So Krishna analyzes all those who do not surrender to him, and he divides them into all these different categories. Miscreants, lowest of the mankind, and one of them is Maya Aparita Jnana. He's a very intelligent person, but his knowledge is being stolen by Maya. This is what happened to Arjuna. See? Very knowledgeable in religious matters. Arjuna is very, very sophisticated gentleman. He's arguing that if the women are unprotected, if there is a war, then the soldiers die, then Hare Krishna floor, then the women are left without any protection, right? That is unnatural. Women, they need to be protected. This is our duty to protect them. The whole society should protect the women. Why? Because they give birth to children. Children are the future leaders of the world. Society that doesn't protect the children commits abortion, and a society that doesn't protect the women, in the name of so-called feminism, women are exploited. That's a fact. It's a suicide society. Suicide society. So Arjuna is seeing the consequences of this war. The soldiers are killed. Their wives are unprotected. When there's when the women are unprotected, then men exploit. There's unwanted progeny. When there's unwanted progeny, Varna Shankara, unwanted children, they create disturbance in a society and they disrespect the predecessors. According to the Vedic system, one is supposed to worship the predecessors, give respect. But if the child is unwanted, how can he respect the father? The father doesn't want him. Why he should respect? See, this is our problem here nowadays. No respect for the authority. No respect for the father. No respect for the teacher. No respect for the guru. No respect for God. This is the disease of our society. Then the society turns into a suicidal society. So Arjuna is a very sophisticated, learned man. He understands the consequences of such an action. The Varna Shankara also, they create disturbance in the natural social and spiritual order. Chaturvanya maya system guna karma vibhagashaha. Krishna establishes the four orders of society: Brahmanas, intellectuals and priests; Kshatriyas, administrators and politicians; Vaishyas, businessmen; and Shudras, workers. These classes must be preserved, must be observed in any society. Otherwise, it's a chaos. It's a chaos. But Varna Shankara, because they're unwanted, they create disturbance. They have no respect. The Varnashram system, this scientific arrangement of the society, is compared to the body. The body has a head. So these are the Brahmanas. They study the Shastra. They teach the Shastra. They worship the deity. They teach how to worship the deity. They accept charity. They distribute charity. This is the engagement. Karma. There's a karma, there's a guna. Guna is the quality. Karma means the activity. Both must be followed. You might have Brahminical qualification. You might be very honest and so on, so on. But if you do not engage in preaching work, then you're not a Brahman. You're not a Brahman. Actually, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he wrote Brahmana Vaishnava, this book, he concluded from the Shastra, supplied Shastra, that ultimately the factor that decides who is a Brahmana, who is not a Brahmana, is the engagement. The work that one performs. Because there were caste Brahmanas, they would argue, oh, it's a birth consideration. You're born in a Brahmana, you're automatically a Brahmana. Nonsense. Hare Krishna Shalin. So Arjuna knew all these different consideration he was aware of. He was very elevated, very elevated. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was his personal friend. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the Perfection of Yoga, that book, little book, very nice book, exposes the bogus yoga system that is performed in Western countries, especially to cheat people. Prabhupada mentions that we cannot compare ourselves to such an elevated personality as Arjuna. Very elevated. We cannot even compare ourselves to him. So he says, this yoga system is impractical for me. How can we now perform yoga if for Arjuna it was difficult. In the previous yuga, Dvapara, our people are more pious, more qualified. Nowadays, everyone is lazy. Manda sumanda matayo, Srimad Bhagavatam describes the people of the age of Kali, lazy, unfortunate. Sumanda, manda sumanda matayo. So he knew so many nice things. He was aware of Vedic knowledge. He was educated by Dronacharya in Vedic knowledge. Dronacharya was his teacher. But Maya Pratagyana, this Maya has stolen all his knowledge. And why? Because he was lamenting for the death of the body. You see, this is very deep knowledge. What Krishna, this is how Krishna starts the whole teaching. You're lamenting for the death of the body, that's why you're a fool. He makes it very clear. It must be very clear. Spiritual life is very clear. We must know exactly what we're doing. It is a science. If the difference between matter and spirit is not clearly delineated, then we might be simply wasting our time. Instead of practicing Krishna consciousness, we might be practicing something that is material consciousness in the name of spiritual practice. That we have seen also in history. So many so-called religious people, the greatest hypocrites. So much evil has been done in the name of good intention. Nowadays also, right? Oh, we have to save the elderly before the pandemic and this and that. Seems like a noble intention, right? Whether it's noble or not, that we will see later on. Actually, Krishna says nothing is noble. If you're concerned for the body, nothing is noble because you're acting in ignorance. This body is a lump of ignorance with the networks leading to death. The senses are like the networks leading to death. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Sharira vidajao, junaniya taika, jiva pele vishay sagare, tarimate jiva. Out of all the senses, the tongue is the most difficult to control. Always wants to talk something. Talking. And always wants to taste palatable dishes. So, the yoga practice begins from the tongue. Atashi Krishna Namadi, Nabhavet Grayam Indriyai. What is the other one? Sevan Mukhe Jivado. Sevan Mukhe Jivado. Yeah. Anyway, the tongue is mentioned. It begins with the tongue. Tongue. So we chanting Hare Krishna and we taking Krishna Prasadam. This is the basis of our movements. We want everyone to chant Hare Krishna and take delicious, wonderful prasadam, Krishna prasadam, offered to Krishna with love and devotion. Nice, delicious preparations. Rasagula, puri, chapati, sabji, this, that, so many nice preparations we can make for Krishna. So, why are we doing all of these things? Because we want to come out of this bodily designation, bodily conception of life. We want to come out of this ignorance. Every class, I recite this prayer, Om Agyam Tidinandasya. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. This is the knowledge. Krishna is opening up Arjuna's eyes with his knowledge of spiritual value, spiritual type, not the material knowledge. Material knowledge is all useless at the time of death. There's so many universities, so much information on the internet. You go on Google. Now let's say you are about to die. Will the Google help you? Will the Wikipedia help you? Will your university degree help you? Will your science help you? Will your vaccine help you? No. That is already given. Just like Krishna said at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, I have already killed all these soldiers. I've done it. I am God. I am the controller of everything. Now, if you follow my instruction, Krishna instructed Arjuna to fight in war, you will simply take the credit. But I already done it. Don't think that you're doing things. Don't think foolishly like that. We're not doing anything. Just consider yourself. Why are you watching this video? Why? So many conditions had to be fulfilled before you could turn on the live stream and watch. So many favorable conditions had to be met. So many causes came before this cause when you decided that, oh, I'm gonna give it a try and watch what this nonsense is saying. Right? So much dependent. Our decisions are so much conditioned. In every single moment, we're being controlled. We're being pushed. There is no such a thing as independence. There is no such a thing. That is illusion. If I think I am doing everything, I'm in this illusion. And the more I in this illusion of being controlled, the more I become entangled. The more I have to follow the dictation of the modes of material nature. People complain about the government. They complain about Illuminati, so many things. They complain. Ultimately, these are all just representatives of the modes of material nature. And who's controlling the material nature? Krishna. Krishna. Ishvara Parama. Krishna is the supreme controller. So, this is the first teaching. You are not this body. The body will be gone, but you are eternal. Krishna assures Arjuna, Masucha, don't worry, don't hesitate, don't be afraid at the end of the Bhagavad Gita. So, we should not be worried about things like death. We should not be worried from the materialistic point of view. Because that will have to come. That moment will have to come. We cannot. The scientists and everyone is trying to convince us that it is possible to conquer death. It is possible to conquer material nature. The whole civilization, so-called, the whole advancement of materialistic science is based on this idea that at one point we will be able to conquer material nature. We'll be able to solve our problems, right? We have this idea that, oh, we have to solve some problem here. I have a problem, so I must solve it. But as soon as we solve one problem, another problem is coming. Hello. Yes. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is where you are. This is the world of misery and suffering. Don't waste your time. Don't try to be happy in this material world. Even if you are the most happy person in the universe, the death is sure. The death will take everything away. You cannot be. Actually, the more you accumulate in this world, the more successful you are, the more happy you are, the more you're going to be devastated at the time of death, because you will have to give up everything, all of these things, temporary. You will have to go. Just like, for example, if you make a big profit, you win a lottery, $1 million, you win a lottery. Oh, wonderful. And you have the ticket and you go to pick up the sum, the nice lump sum money. And then when you're just about to reach the destination, a wind comes and blows out the ticket. You don't have the lottery ticket anymore. You're chasing after it and it's gone. You cannot, it falls into a ditch or somewhere. It's gone. So then you're lamenting, I have lost my lottery ticket, $1 million. Oh, are you devastated and you commit suicide or something like that? But if you didn't win the lottery ticket, you would just go on with your life as usual. Well, okay, I didn't win. Okay, let me go to work. Let me do this. Let me do that. You see? So these are the dualities of material existence. The more you're happy, the more you suffer. The more you suffer, the more you can appreciate, right? That is why a wise man, those who are wise, they follow the instruction of Lord Rishabhadeva, who says that this life is meant for austerity. Austerity means I undergo voluntary suffering with the purpose of gaining spiritual insight. That is austerity. You see? So if you just like now here with Maitreya Prabhu, we're in a hotel, we're trapped, we don't have a place for our temple. So when we finally get the place, we'll appreciate, oh, it's so nice to have a place, right? Similarly, if you learn how to take Krishna prasadam and nothing else, if you become a strict yogi, a strict Goswami, that you only take Krishna prasadam, nothing else. Would you like some vegan this, that? No. I only take Krishna prasadam. Would you like a vegetarian cake? It is very healthy. It is organic from my own garden. I have collected the ingredients. Would you like to take? No. It is not Krishna prasadam. It is full of sin. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So when you are accustomed, then when you meet a devotee and he invites you to come and honor prasadam, oh, you will relish, right? You will relish, oh, this is Krishna prasadam, because you learn how to control your senses. It is not so easy. The tongue, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, is the most voracious, most difficult to control. But if you undergo this tiny austerity and you refrain from eating foodstuffs that are not offered to Krishna with love and devotion, then when you take prasadam, you really appreciate. That's why we don't say eat prasadam, we say honor. We're honoring. Oh, these are Krishna's remnants. Krishna has eaten this food. If you offer to Krishna, you ring a bell. Krishna actually takes that offering. He's so kind. And he leaves the remnants for you. These are spiritualized. Krishna prasadam, don't throw in the trash. That is a great offense. That is a great offense. We don't throw prasadam. We eat everything. You eat or either give it to a dog or even a plant, they benefit so much from this Krishna prasadam. You see, so intelligent persons, Hare Krishna Tamesh, they are performing austerity. This is why we have this human form. An animal cannot perform any austerity. What austerity? He doesn't even think of any austerity. If you analyze animals, they're simply concerned with eating, sleeping, sex, and they fight if you don't give it to them, right? You just analyze your dog. If you have a dog or pet, you analyze. They have no higher ideal. But a human has high ideals. He practices austerity. And the greatest austerity is to refrain the senses for spiritual development, for Krishna consciousness. Not just spiritual development, but development of Krishna consciousness. There is a difference. A devotee undergoes austerity for Krishna's sake. So this is real knowledge. We're not this body, and all this knowledge pertaining to the body is nothing but ignorance. It might be very, very sophisticated and very complex. You have so many universities, so much science, so much research done. But for a devotee, this is just like rocks from the moon, completely useless. My Prabhu, he did nice podcast you can watch and listen to. Rocks from the moon, completely useless. They have spent $1 billion. Nowadays, it would be $11 billion to fly the spaceship to the so-called moon. And what do they bring? A few rocks. And these rocks you can find anywhere here on earth also. So that is useless. At the time of death, nothing can save you. Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mudapati. Shankaracharya says, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. That is the best investment. Invest your energy, invest your love in God, in Krishna. Then Krishna will save you at the time. No one can save you. No one can save you. No one can help you. Only Krishna. Yam yam vapi smaram tyajate antika. He gives a promise. One who thinks of me with ananya bhakti, with unalloyed devotion, without diversion to any other personality, he will reach me. He will be liberated from this material existence. No more birth, no more death, no more disease, no more COVID, and no more old age. Back home, back to Godhead. This is where we're supposed to go. So, Hare Krishna, Ellen. Krishna is chastising Arjuna. He's chastising him. He's indirectly calling him a fool. So this is the duty of the spiritual master. If you approach a spiritual master or a devotee, and he might chastise you. He might actually find some flaw in you. Don't be agitated. Don't be offended. It is out of love. It is not out of malice. It is out of love. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are a fool. It is not that Krishna is envious that he must, out of frustration, call someone a fool. It is not like that. He's calling him a fool because he loves him. Please stop this lamentation. You are in ignorance. Please stop it. You are not this body. The people you lament over, they're also not the body. They don't die when their body is finished. They go on, they're eternal. It doesn't mean, of course, that now we can kill anyone or we don't care about the body. No. It's just like your clothes. Your clothes, you wear your clothes, you take care of your clothes. But don't think that you are the clothes. See? If I think I'm this hoodie, if I call I'm a hoodie, my name is Hoodie. I'm this hoodie and dhoti. I'm a combination of hoodie and dhoti. Nice to meet you. Am I not crazy? That is craziness. I take care of, I wash, I clean, I iron my clothes. Yes, very nice. But if I start thinking I am the clothes, then I'm crazy. It's a crazy person. Hi, I am a t-shirt. Hi, I am a hat. Hi, my name is sock. That is insanity. Similarly, we're identified with these bodily designations. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm ugly, I'm beautiful, I'm this and that. Well, just like sometimes there's agitation. Oh, you said that women should be protected. Oh, they should be equal. Why you say they should be protected? Do you mean to say that a man is superior? Yes, he's superior by nature. Man is always superior, physically, mentally, yes. And that is for a reason, because man is supposed to protect the woman. A woman, she can simply enjoy. Why? Why? Because she has to give birth to a child and she has to take care of the child. She has a duty. That's why she deserves to be protected. She doesn't have to tax her brain about, how to make money and how to fight and this and that. That's not her duty. Her duty is to give birth to a child and take care of the child. So the society grows and advances very nicely by begetting nice children. There's a nice society, nice projects, very nice arrangement. And then we can attain spiritual perfection more easily. If the material side is very nicely done, it assists the spiritual life. Yes, that is also. So that is from the material point of view. Ultimately, we're not this body. So if you're taking offense, oh, I'm a woman, and they say I'm this and that, and then you're also a fool. You're a fool number one. You are not this body. Let us come to the spiritual platform. It doesn't matter what you on the material platform. It doesn't really matter. You do your duty, whatever, whether you're man or woman. It's like a wet stool or dry stool. This is not very palatable. Ultimately, the body is a combination of stool and urine and all these obnoxious things. Why are we arguing? Oh, sometimes it is mentioned that the body is like a bag of stool and bones, I call it a stool bag. So one stool bag is arguing, oh, I am better than the other stool bag. What is the use of that? You take advantage of the body, take advantage of it, make the best use of a bad bargain, but focus on Krishna. You are a spirit soul, you are eternal, you have nothing to do. I might have been a woman. Maybe I'll be a woman in my next life. How does it matter? Why we have to now entangle ourselves in these bodily designations and conflicts and rubbish like that? Chant Hare Krishna and realize your eternal identity with Krishna. So this is good. When we get chastised by the Guru, that is actually the mercy of a Guru. You should take it like that. When you get chastised, you should be happy. The spiritual master, he loves me. Oh, he cares for me. He gives me special attention because I have done something. I am sincerely trying, so he's trying to help me. And if you're not getting chastised, then rest assured, the Guru is not instructing you because you are so puffed up that even if he gives you a little instruction, you will be offended and you give up the whole process. So a sincere disciple is always asking, please chastise me, please. By chastising, if the Guru chastises, we make advancement. If the Guru is neglecting, if he has to flatter us, oh, please, kindly, can you chant Hare Krishna? If he has to do that, that means we're very low class. So don't let the Guru flatter you. You try to serve, try to take initiative. Even if you make a little mistake, doesn't matter. If you get chastised, then you make advancement very fast. Chanakya Pandit says like that if you don't chastise the disciple, then he will be spoiled and he will not make any advancement. So the disciple should be chastised. This is what Krishna is showing us here. He is the supreme spiritual master. He is the great example of how to instruct his disciple. So he begins the Bhagavad Gita with chastisement. He calls Arjuna a fool because Arjuna is identifying with the body. Okay, so I'll stop here. Are there any questions? My chair, Prabhu is. Gordana says that parcel of my soul who lead me here is one I love and I humbly bow down to. Yes, very nice. That is because these devotees are tagging, see? Because they're tagging, somehow they invited you here and now you are getting this enlightenment from Srila Prabhupada. So that is very nice. Yes.
There's only Danka on the Zoom. If you have any questions, Danka, you can say, or you can unmute your microphone, and then I'm just going to unplug the microphone here so I can hear you. Any questions? People who are watching, there are 17 viewers and no questions. What is this? Makanchora, Prabhu? Oh, okay. Bhaktanes. I see sometimes people take it personally when chastised and then take offense. So how can we make sure not to take it so personally when chastised? Yes.
Well, first of all, we should understand what is the purpose of approaching a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not our servant. You know, if we're approaching with that motivation to gain something material from the spiritual master, then we will not be very satisfied. So everything depends on our... Prabhupada says that one should have some preliminary understanding before he approaches a spiritual master. He should know the purpose of guidance, spiritual guidance, is to gain relief from material existence, not to stay in the material existence, and engage the spiritual master in material sense gratification, or assisting our material sense gratification. So it all comes to that.
Peter Schmidt says, does it answer your question, Bhaktanes, Prabhu? And if it doesn't, we can elaborate, or I can not elaborate, but we will elaborate maybe. Peter Schmidt says, no questions tonight, just gratitude. Okay, but PJ Sharma has a question. Thank you for your gratitude, Peter. His Grace gave a very nice class. I agree. PJ asks, what do you suggest for people that are separated from a loved one when they pass? Lamentation seems like a human reaction.
Well, I suggest that they read the Bhagavad Gita. That is the best thing you can do, because especially the second chapter deals with the problem of death. So yeah, they should read the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, yes, it is a human reaction. We should not artificially now, claim that it is lamentable when we separate. It is natural. We feel affection for our loved ones. Yes. But after we dry our tears, we should again understand that, we ourselves are going to go at one point. So what is the use of lamenting? We should make spiritual advancement. We should dedicate our time to spiritual practice, chant Hare Krishna, read the Bhagavad Gita, associate with the devotees, engage in devotional service. Like that. This will be the greatest help, even for our loved ones. You yourself, Prabhu, you send me this message. I remember, you know very well, in the 7th canto, 30 generations. Whoever is practicing Krishna consciousness, 30 generations back and 30 generations after, they all get liberation. So if that person who passed away is your family member, you can help him the most by dedicating your life to Krishna consciousness. You see. But ultimately, it is ignorance. Is when we're lamenting, because we're lamenting for the body. That person who died, he doesn't even remember you. He is now in the womb of another mother. And his desires are being fulfilled by Krishna. His karma is going on. He is put into a situation according to his desires, according to his activities that he performed in this life. And he doesn't even remember. You were crying, oh, my dear, my beloved. And he's there, a baby. He doesn't understand anything. He doesn't remember everything. The super soul erases all the memory of your life. Everything. Death means forgetfulness. So it's not going to help him if you cry. And also, it's not going to help you if you cry, because you will have to face that moment of death yourself. So yeah, it is a human reaction, yes, but we should not make it the ultimate purpose of life. Sense gratification on the bodily plane, and then lamentation because the sense gratification is no longer possible. Okay.
Okay, so Nay says, yes, thank you. So it's a matter of the wrong expectation. Yes. Yeah. Pitikishna, what, 30 generations? I think he's referring to the family being liberated. Yeah. Yeah. The best service you can do to the family. Dr. Nace, can you please explain more on the do not lament for the living part? In what way is that meant?
Well, don't you suffer? You're living, and still you suffer. Someone is dead, he might be, with less pain than you are. Right? Like this first 7 months in the womb, the baby is unconscious. It's like sleeping, basically. Only after the 7th month, the baby revives consciousness. He's awakened. Oh my God. See, when you die, hopefully, at least we should hope, we attain a human form. And then there's 7 months. After 7 months, you wake up. You don't remember any. Actually, the baby remembers. If he is pious, he remembers his past life and he's praying in the womb. Then you can see that on ultrasound. The baby sometimes is praying like that. That is all described in the 3rd canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 5,000 years ago. Such a wonderful scripture. So, you are suffering now. There's disease. There's old age. There is birth itself is a lot of suffering. And then you have suffering caused by other living entities. You're suffering of the mind and the body. You're suffering of the natural disasters, and so on and so on. So if you're lamenting for these things, again, you're lamenting because you experience all these things with your senses, with your body. None of these things can affect the spirit soul. That we shall discuss later on. Krishna says the soul cannot be burned, cannot be withered by wind, cannot be cut into pieces by a knife. Like that. The soul is transcendental. You cannot, it is eternal. You cannot destroy the soul. So that's what we are. All of this is just like a theatrical performance. We have our bodies, we have our costumes, we have our roles to play according to the karma. It is already planned out. Everything is planned out by Krishna. So we do that to our best abilities and try to realize the higher reality, Krishna consciousness, our relationship with Krishna. That's why people can't understand this Krishna. Why is he worshipping here? Why is he chanting these mantras? Why is he putting this on his head? They can't understand. Because it's a different reality. It's a transcendental, eternal reality. Krishna is on eternal platform. And they're all on the mundane, temporary platform, completely in a state of illusion that, oh, I am this body, and this is my wife, this is my country, and so on and so on. Okay.
DJ Sharma is asking, souls transmigrate right away. I thought, I thought there was some undetermined lag period depending on the soul.
Yes, sometimes when he is very sinful. Yeah, sometimes there's a lag. That's why they are in coma. They're in coma, and Yamaraj is a very difficult task because that person is so sinful that they're discussing what kind of punishment he was gonna get. Yes. So, but it doesn't matter. Why should we contemplate these things? Let us chant Hare Krishna, and we don't have to worry about, how long does it take to get to another body? Why are we asking these things? We should ask how long it will take until we go back home, back to Godhead. Aim high. Aim high. Shoot the rhinoceros if you can. This example, if you go and you say, I'm going to shoot a rhinoceros, it is a very difficult task. So if you at least aim, there's a chance you're going to do it. But if you, from the very beginning, you say, well, I'm not interested in this. I'm interested to take another human body. Then that is not a good idea. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that no intelligent man, this is not a place for intelligent men. Finish your business in this life. This is Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Tamis is asking, when cows die by being slaughtered, any idea what happens to that spirit soul?
Yes, we know exactly what's going to happen because the animal has a destined certain lifespan. Let's say a cow lives like 15 years or something, and you kill it prematurely. She is destined to live for 15 years. but you kill it at the age of 7, that soul must again take birth in that same species and finish that remaining lifespan. That's why killing of animals is so sinful. It's so simple. You don't let that soul to progress. You're kicking out the soul from that body, because otherwise we go through gradual evolution through different species. That is automatic, right? So the cow, after the cow dies, that soul goes to the human body, right? But you don't allow. You say, no, go back again, try it again. So simple. Well, people don't understand. These animal rights activists, they say, oh, it is so cruel. This is just one angle of vision, that they're killing brutally the cow. But we see even there's more suffering, because that same soul has to again be born as a cow. There's a great suffering. To be born in an animal species is great suffering. You have no idea what is going on. You're pushed by the instincts. You're suffering. You don't know why. The animals are always in anxiety. You can observe. They're always in anxiety. Always.
Yes. So if there are any more questions, you can post them in the chat and we'll get to them. If not, you can ask afterwards also. Thank you very much for coming to the live stream. All 20 viewers we had at one point. That's very encouraging. Please join us tomorrow morning for Srimad Bhagavatam study, 8:30 London time, GST. And there will also be, of course, like I've already mentioned, Gauda Purnima. That's happening this upcoming weekend. There'll be an all-day Zoom event. I think our Beyond Birth and Death study will be replaced by a Gauda Purnima class on Zoom. Bhaktanace is asking, but Prabhu, what happens if you kill by accident? Like I was trying to help a bug once, but accidentally pushed him off the balcony. And I was so sorry, but will there be a karmic reaction?
Hare Krishna. And Krishna will protect you. He says that in the Bhagavad Gita. Moksha Ishyami Masucha. I shall deliver you from accidental sinful activities. You see, that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. And by accident, whatever we have done will be spared. But otherwise not. Everything. It's like accidents. I kill someone by accident. There might be a reduction, but there is no accident in this world. It's our duty to avoid the accidents. Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming. Please put a like on the live stream if you appreciate it. Please give a donation also if you appreciate Prabhu's classes. And we can continue doing them. If we don't get any supports, then how we can continue the classes. So if you have a little something you can give, please do. It would be very much appreciated. Okay, Hare Krishna. Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Jai. Jai. Hari Hari Bo.